That's us.
That's what?
Welcome back to the Carroll College PE Center. Along with Gary Turcotte, I'm Nick Dietzen, about ready to tip off the second game of the Comfort Suites Classic for Carroll College. The Fighting Saints coming into tonight's matchup with a 6-2 record, 23rd overall. The next NAIA Coaches Bowl will be coming out next week. Fighting Saints will again be on the road for over a month before they return to the PE Center. Get into the starting lineups for both clubs here tonight. For the visiting Warriors of Corbin University out of Salem, Oregon, Mateo Eschek, a 6'6" senior from Dallas, Texas. Taylor Anderson, a 5'10" junior from Grants Pass, Oregon. Masi Mohammadi, a 6'1" senior from San Carlos, California. Darius Henderson, a 6'9" senior from Pasadena, California. And number 13 is Andrew Stafford, a 6'4" guard, a junior from Hopkins, Minnesota. So that is the starting five. Darius Henderson is a transfer from the University of Montana. He leads the way in scoring with 16.5 points per game and 5 rebounds. He's been shooting over 50% from both the field and from three-point range. The Warriors are coached by Taylor Kelly in his third season. The Fighting Saints will counter with a 4-guard lineup as true freshman Braden Cook, a 6'2" guard from Helena, Montana, Capitol High School, is joined in the backcourt with Garrett Long, a 6'1" sophomore from Wenatchee, Washington, and another sophomore, 6'4", Andrew Cook from Huntington Beach, California, and Johnny Hellman, a senior, 6'2", from Post Falls, Idaho. Johnny is joined as a senior by Brendan Temple in the front court, a 6'8" forward from Castle Rock, Colorado. So Brendan Temple comes into tonight's matchup. He was the Frontier Conference Player of the Week by virtue of 2 double-doubles in conference play. Last Thursday, the Saints defeated UM Western here at the PE Center. Then they went on the road for a hard-fought matchup against the Lights of MSU Northern, who just picked up a victory before this game and then dropped it to this very Corbin team that we're playing. So we're about ready to get going. At the tip here with Brendan Temple is Darius Henderson, who we'll be keeping an eye on. And the tip is controlled by the Warriors. So Henderson bounces along to Taylor Anderson. He's their leading assist man. Number 3, Masi Mohammadi. They'll drop it into the post. A left-hand hook shot is good by Mateo Eschek. So 2-0 on the first bucket for the Warriors as the Fighting Saints will come across half court in their hometown purple uniforms. Brendan Temple driving, going in on Henderson. Andrew Cook has an open 3 from the top of the key, and he knocks it down.
Inside, outside. That's how Carroll likes to play. Get it into the post, create some action. Inside, outside threes are a lot higher percentage shot than anything else in the game from a three-point line.
And we've seen Andrew Cook this season. He's got a great mid-range game, doesn't settle for a lot of threes, but there he had an open 3 and was able to connect. So there's a pass into Henderson, who gets another jump hook, so 2 quick jump hooks.
He is a tremendous player. You know, I think you mentioned that he had started out at the University of Montana. I bet they'd like to have him back.
Yep, 6'9", active. He's got a perimeter shot as well as the inside game that he just showed, and now a three-pointer by Garrett Long is no good and will go off the hands of Andrew Cook out of bounds. As we're just a minute and a half into the game here from the PE Center. Both teams coming in sporting a 6-2 record. Fighting Saints are undefeated at home, 4-0. Corbin University, again coached by Taylor Kelly in his third season. Bringing the ball up the floor, Taylor Anderson. He'll look to get a screen from Henderson. Now Henderson, they look to get it to the inside to him. Good defense by Andrew Cook on the outside. Mateo Eschek has the ball. Eschek had an early bucket for them. He'll enter it to Henderson, who has the fall away, and that's an air ball into the hands of Andrew Cook. So come the Saints. Johnny Hellman cross court. Gets the pass back from Garrett Long. He'll drop it over to Andrew Cook. Cook gives it off to Braden Cook, and then a quick entry to Brendan Temple. Braden Cook back to Temple. Temple with a nice spin move to the basket, defended by Henderson. And now ball gets tipped out, rebound by Brendan Temple. And he hits the deck and is able to knock in the bucket for the Fighting Saints.
And that was kind of a microcosm of the determination that Brendan Temple has. He just doesn't give up. He's got a huge motor. He just goes and goes. Never gave up on that. Looked like he wasn't going to be able to get anything good come out of that, and he just kept pivoting and turning and eventually got an and one.
And Coach Paulson had mentioned that he's really worked on his conditioning in the offseason. He's really earned a lot of these. You know, he's able to play a lot of minutes.
He plays so hard that he runs out of gas. You know,
he's been getting and ones in every game we've been watching. He's been able to get it. So there's a quick transition bucket for Corbin. Tie game, 6-6, 2.5 minutes into first half action from the PE Center. Braden Cook gives it off to Brendan Temple, who faces up against Henderson. It's a good matchup we'll be watching all night. And then Braden Cook with an open three, in and out. Rebound goes to Andrew Stafford from Hopkins, Minnesota. Taylor Anderson, defended by Garrett Long, swings it to the corner, and Masih Muhammadi, no good. Rebound, Andrew Cook. A couple early rebounds for Andrew Cook. So Johnny Hillman brings it up the floor and draws contact.
And that's what Johnny Hillman did so effectively last night, is get penetration, dribble penetration. I think he had 12 assists last night.
Yes, he did. 9 points, 12 assists. Yeah. Didn't have it going from the shooting side of things, but really contributed and played with 4 fouls, for which we've seen him run into some foul trouble because he does play physical. Hillman will be inbounding, gets it into Braden Cook. Cook will take the screen from Brendan Temple and will be rewarded with the ball as he faces up on Henderson. Back to the basket now, 2 dribbles, throws it cross court to Andrew Cook. Cook, spin move, step back, shot, no good. Rebound by Henderson. And Henderson's a big guy. He clogs up a lot of the lane there, 6'9" frame. Very solid individual. Mateo Eschek in the lane. Shot comes up and it's good. So he will draw a foul, and we'll look to see if we'll have our second 3-point play of the early going, this time for the Warriors. And checking in for the Fighting Saints is Derek Kramer, the 6'9" freshman from Bellevue, who we mentioned. Provided some great minutes off the bench as Brendan Temple had foul trouble. Also checking in is Isaiah Moore, who had a career-high 21 points last night, the freshman from Fairfield, California. So inbounding will be Moore as the Warriors off to an early lead, 9-6, and Brendan Temple will get it back to Braden Cook, who will be defended by Anderson, gets it across half court. Good pressure defense applied by Anderson. Brendan Temple, left hand, gets to the lane, kicks it out to Johnny Hillman. Hillman gets into the paint, and a floater is good. Nice job by Johnny Hillman getting
nice
into the
offense.
lane.
Penetration, once again, that's Johnny's game. He can make catch and shoots, but he's better off the dribble.
So Henderson, cross-court pass, whips it to Stafford, who's unable to make it. Rebound goes to Derek Kramer. Now Isaiah Moore with eyes up the floor. Moore gives it off to his freshman teammate, Braden Cook. 3 freshmen on the floor right now, along with 2 seniors. So a good mix of veteran experience and newcomers for the Fighting Saints. Brendan Temple to the corner for Cook, 11 on the shot clock. Cook gives it to Hillman. Hillman drives the lane again and is able to draw a foul.
Yeah, that's his game.
So aggressive in the early going, Johnny Hillman.
Johnny Hillman was playing the point for Carroll, Nick, and they moved him now, to the 2-3 spot, and he is much more effective. There's a big coaching move by the coaching staff at Carroll, and the right move.
So Henderson will check out, but they counter with James Carlson, who's also a 6'9" senior. Carlson, originally from Coeur d'Alene, transferred from the Idaho State University. So both a counter with Henderson leaving, and then another D1 transfer in Carlson, who's 6'9". So a lot of length for Corbin, as well as experience. So Isaiah Moore swings it to the corner to Garrett Long. He will spin in the lane, and a hard-fought shot goes up, in and out. Isaiah Moore battling for the rebound. Ball goes out of bounds off the hands of Mateo Eschek.
And that was Isaiah Moore with a little extra hustle, getting Carroll an extra possession there. He had a real nice game last night.
Moore's provided great perimeter defense, but hasn't been asked to do a lot offensively, but had a great 21-point effort. He's been shooting 55% from the field so far in the early season. Derek Kramer gets the ball in the pass, or in the post, defended by Carlson. Kramer with a jump hook in the lane, no good. Rebound, S-check. So the Warriors with possession. Anderson driving the lane, spin move, turn around, and it's good.
Nice move. Yep.
Taylor Anderson, Grants Pass, Oregon native. Played at Grants Pass High. Anderson is averaging 10.6 points on the season and 5 assists to lead the Warriors. So Isaiah Moore hands it off to Johnny Hillman. He looks to the bench with Kurt Paulson giving him some direction as they set up the offense. Entry pass from Garrett Long goes to Derek Kramer. He swings it cross court. Braden Cook over to Isaiah Moore. Moore in the lane, dumps it off to his freshman teammate, Derek Kramer.
So there are 3 freshmen on the floor for Carroll right now. The 3 that played so well last night.
So Derek Kramer gets the bucket with the pass from Moore, and it's a 11-10. The Warriors in the lead. A fadeaway shot comes up short by Anderson into the hands of Braden Cook. He'll get it up the floor to Johnny Hillman. Hillman's been aggressive early on, and he'll continue getting into the lane with another basket. Nice drive by Johnny Hillman.
Boy, that is his game. He's got a nice shot fake, really quick first step, and he's physically so strong.
So Hillman, the senior from Post Falls, Idaho, 6'2". Not only is he excellent at penetration, he also is strong on the block, a really strong player. So James Carlson calmly hits a baseline jumper, the 6'9" senior. So we got a good one back and forth here.
Back and forth.
Changes.
2 really good teams going at it.
And we were talking last night, you mentioned how important it is to get some of these preseason games against good competition on your home floor too, because the Saints are going to be on the road extensively to round out the 2022 calendar. And Isaiah Moore with a real quick first step gets to the lane, another layup for the Saints. They've been really effective getting inside shots.
Both teams play such pressure, Nick. They're really out. You're not going to get a lot of catch and shoots. It's all about getting to the rim, penetrating, driving, because they're 2 good defensive teams. Lots of pressure on the ball.
So we got a timeout on the floor. The Fighting Saints in front, 14-13. Andrew Cook knocked down that early 3, but after that, it's been all layups pretty much. Yeah. Interior shots.
Both teams really attacking the rim with good players that know how to play basketball. Good spacing. You know, Corbin last night beat MSU Northern. They were up 15, you know, with about 6 minutes to go in that ball game, and they ended up winning it by about 8 or 9. But that just tells you how good they are. This is going to be a great game.
Yeah, we mentioned they're a veteran squad for Taylor Kelly in his 3rd season, but he's got 4 seniors who play and then a host of juniors that see time. So this team's been together. They've got a couple transfers, but a lot of comfort, whereas Carroll's been mixing and matching a little bit in the early goings. And it looks like they're finding their rotations a little bit.
Exactly.
So onto the floor is Elijah Mitchell seeing his first action. He's a senior from Edison, New Jersey. Mitchell gets to the lane and throws up a wild shot, no good. Tipped by Isaiah Moore into the hands of Garrett Long. Long's over to Hillman. He catches in rhythm and hits a 3. So Johnny Hillman off to a really nice start offensively after some struggles shooting the ball last night. He's in excellent form early on as the Saints lead 17-13 with just over 12 minutes to play in the first half from the Carroll PE Center. Elijah Mitchell will go to work again. This one also wild off the backboard. So Elijah Mitchell's been doing the one-man penetration, but the result's not great for the Warriors.
You can see that they really count on him to get the penetration. Carroll must think he's pretty good because they have Johnny Hillman on him. When they put Johnny Hillman on somebody, they think that he's one of their key guys.
So Johnny Hillman 3 for 3 so far with 7 points. And then Brendan Temple 3 points, Andrew Cook 3 points, 2 rebounds for Cook. So Andrew Cook right now 89% from the free throw line, 49% from the field. We haven't seen him take a lot of threes. He does a lot of his damage with the mid-range game and just a lot of crafty moves. He's able to really be in control and find open spacing for him to elevate and shoot that jump shot.
Well, he's got good handles, under control, and like you said, a quick first step.
In the early going, Mateo Eschek with 5 points to lead the Warriors, who again are 6-2, so both teams coming in with 6-2 records here. Corbin out of Salem, Oregon, picked up the win, as you mentioned, Gary, against MSU Northern, who the Saints played. And in that game, it was a real tough defensive battle. This one, pretty good pace right now.
Right.
You know, not like what we saw last night, of course, when the Saints were 13 for 14 to start the night and ended up getting to 99 points.
There's a whole different caliber of defense being played by Corbin than what Carroll saw last night with Bushnell. And not to take anything away from Bushnell, because they had a good team, explosive offensive team, and they played Northern tough tonight. They lost in a tough game, but Corbin defensively is they're pretty solid. They really are.
So checking in for the Warriors, seeing their first action is Colin Wormuth. Wormuth is from Roseburg, Oregon. He was at Western Oregon University transfer. He's deadly from three-point range. Elijah Mitchell in the lane. Mitchell no good, and the ball goes out of bounds. So we're seeing Darius Henderson, the leading scorer and rebounder. He's been sitting out for a while, and that's given Coach Paulson an opportunity to rest Brendan Temple.
Exactly. That's a good point, Nick. They are resting Brandon.
So into the lane driving is Reese Van Leerup. Now Mitchell again attacking. He's gotten into the lane every single time.
Mitchell, well, I'm not sure if he can shoot, but he can sure attack the rim. He's really a strong kid. You know, he's about, what's he listed at?
6'3", 215 though.
Yeah, and you know, it looks like he could play linebacker for a lot of football teams.
Without a doubt. So Mitchell will go to the line for two. First shot on the way, no good. On the floor for the Fighting Saints, Derek Kramer, Isaiah Moore, two freshmen, and then we got two sophomores, Andrew Cook, Garrett Long. Second one rattles home for Mitchell, and the Saints lead 17-14 with under 12 minutes, and a bad turnover there as a little miscommunication. Garrett Long passed it to Johnny Hillman, who was looking over at the bench and didn't see the ball.
I think Garrett, they want Garrett to bring the ball down, and he's the point guard out there right now, not Johnny. So I don't know what Garrett was thinking about there.
So that one goes into the Carroll College bench, and so now Wormuth swings it around the perimeter here. James Carlson gives it off, and then nice job defensively. Isaiah Moore and Carlson wrestling for the ball together, and the ball goes out of bounds, and possession will maintain in the Warriors' favor. And checking in is Jordan Bryant, seeing his first action. Bryant had a dunk yesterday and a layup on back-to-back possessions. He's a junior from Carmichael, California. Played at Yuba College for a while. James Carlson with the turnaround, no good. And Jordan Bryant unable to corral the rebound, and now we've got Wormuth with the three, no good. Another offensive rebound, this one corralled by Dirk Hilaire.
Very athletic. These are athletic plays that Corbin is making, just really athletic.
Hilaire from La Mirada, California. And now Wormuth with a hook shot, no good. Rebound goes to Jordan Bryant. So a nice job corralling the rebound after a couple of missed opportunities there. Offensive rebounding by Corbin, strong in the early going. Andrew Cook will look for a pick from Kramer. He gets double teamed and gets it off to Isaiah Moore. Moore dribble between the legs, gives it off to Garrett Long. Garrett Long hits the deck. We've mentioned in the previous game, Garrett Long knows one speed, and that's pedal to the metal.
That was a good take.
Checking in for the Fighting Saints will be Braden Cook. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year for Montana last year and led the Capitol High Bruins to a state title. So Cook on the baseline gets it into, attempts to get it to Andrew Cook, and the ball will go out of bounds off of Andrew Cook.
And that's the kind of turnover that drives you crazy. just an inbounds play, you just don't execute it very well. You got to really screen those out of bounds plays, and you turn it over.
We talked in the pregame about how turnovers is something that Corbin does a good job all season long in creating them. A couple unforced errors, though, contributing to that. Kurt Paulson's not thrilled by that.
The possession before this too, Nick, where Carroll looked like they had the rebound secured and they didn't chin it. You got to rip it down. You got to chin it, be solid with it. And Corbin was able to tip the ball out and get some extra shots. I can see why they average. What did you tell me? 13 steals. They average
10 steals and they 20 turnovers. Overall,
yeah, I mean that's their game. That's a big part of why they're 6-2.
So 10 minutes and 43 seconds from the PE Center, Fighting Saints in front, 17-14 in the early going. Johnny Hillman was successful in scoring 7 points early on for Carroll. He's 3 for 3 from the field after going 2 for 9 last night, but Hillman had 12 assists, which was important. Andrew Cook, again, he's the team leader right now with 15.9 points per game on the season and doing it in a very efficient way, as we mentioned, shooting 49% from the field.
And somebody's going to have to explain to me why Brandon Temple and Darius Henderson are not on the floor. They've been sitting for 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Yeah, and it hasn't been fouls.
Right.
Yeah, neither player has a foul in the early going. So,
but
maybe
Kurt's probably thinking, well, I'm just gonna, if you're not going to put Darius in, then I'm just going to rest Brandon until you do.
Well, just as you say that, Brendan Temple heads to the scorer's table.
Yeah.
Elijah Mitchell again will go to the basket. He will dribble to the lane, kicks it out. Warmouth. Around the perimeter they go, and then entry pass on the baseline. James Carlson picks up his dribble, gives it out to Mitchell. Mitchell, step back, shot, no good. Derek Kramer rebound. Rebounds for Derek Kramer. He had 5 rebounds last night in the game against Bushnell University. So 2 teams from Oregon coming to the capital city for the Comfort Suites Classic. Jordan Bryant over to Cook. He whips it across to Braden Cook. Now back to the top, Isaiah Moore. Andrew Cook now going to work, left hand, spin move in the lane. Not a great look for him.
Good defense on Brandon. That just plain good, solid defense by Corbin.
Colin Warmouth came up with the rebound there. Now a drive into the lane, no good by Dirk Hilaire, the second. So we will see the 2 seniors check in for the Fighting Saints here.
Carroll's just a better team with Brandon Temple, and they like to play through him. And when he's not in the ball game, it puts a lot of pressure on those other guys to have to make plays.
And so as Temple checks in, we now see Corbin countering with their big man Darius Henderson as well as Mateo Eschek coming in. So Temple gets the ball stolen by Hilaire the second. He does that all season long so far and misses the layup, but a good follow by James Carlson. So Dirk Hilaire averaging 2 steals a game.
Boy, you just have to be so solid with the ball. They're going to just pick you. You can't be one bit lazy or soft with the dribble.
Fighting Saints in front by 1. Brendan Temple defended
That
by
is a hand
Carlson.
check.
And a nice drive by Temple. Draws the foul. He's shooting 79% from the line on the season to go along with his 60% from the field. Just a fantastic start to the season for Brendan Temple. Temple at the line. He'll have 2. First shot on the way is good. Now checking in the aforementioned Henderson as well as Eschek. Taylor Anderson also on the floor. So 2 for 2 from the line for Brendan Temple as the Saints are in front, 19-16. Taylor Anderson bringing the ball up the floor, the 5'10 junior. Leads the team in assists, and he's in double figures along with Henderson on the season. So Eschek facing up. Spin move in the lane, backing down Johnny Hillman. And he's able to catch a foul there, much to the displeasure of Kurt Paulson. So Eschek kind of doing his Johnny Hillman routine with the guard backing in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So second foul for Johnny Hillman.
And Johnny's got to be careful, you know, and he does get in foul trouble. He's so physical.
Yeah, we've seen that as kind of a consistent part of the season so far, but he has done a nice job of not fouling out.
He does. Once he gets 4, he's been pretty good. He's been a little more cautious.
So S-check from the baseline, inbound to Henderson, the University of Montana transfer. Henderson facing up on Temple, kicks it out to Anderson. Anderson defended by Isaiah Moore, who's provided excellent defense,
nice move.
But a nice fadeaway jumper by Anderson.
Kind of a double crossover there and to a nice fadeaway. That's very creative.
So he knocks it down 19-18. Johnny Hillman defending by Hilaire. As we mentioned, Hilaire 2 steals per game. He's got 1. Brendan Temple wide open 3. No good, but he chases after his own miss. Ball comes out to Reese Van Leeuwen from Spokane, Washington. And we'll see a couple Saints head to the scoring table to check in at the next dead ball. Andrew Cook and Murat Guzalocek will be on the floor. So Anderson swings it out to S-check. S-check defended by Hillman. S-check here with the right hand, driving the lane. And it looks like an offensive foul there.
That's awfully good defense by Johnny Hillman. That was an isolation set by Corbin, and Johnny Hillman just absolutely refused to get beat on the ball. Took a great charge.
Nice job by him not getting a third foul there.
Exactly.
Maintaining his ground there, getting his feet set. So he will check out along with Temple. So Guzalocek on the floor, Andrew Cook, Braden Cook, Isaiah Moore, and Jordan Bryant on the floor. So this is a little different lineup than we've seen. Coach Paulson's been experimenting with a few different groups, and we saw some foul trouble last night that led to some really good action from the freshman, as we mentioned. Those quick hands by Hilaire, knocks it out of bounds. And he's averaging 2 steals a game.
And Nick, what's happened, they play full court man pressure, and they really do get after you. Full court.
It's evident that he's going to apply really even more pressure than everyone else. He's got quick hands there. We've seen him get the 1 steal and knock 2 of them out of bounds. So Braden Cook gets it up the floor past midcourt, defended by Taylor Anderson. Cook's got a little bit of a height advantage there. Isaiah Moore. He will look for the pick from Guzalocek. Guzalocek on the interior. Andrew Cook drives the lane, and a nice crafty up and under.
And that time Carroll was able to get the ball reversed, and Corbin makes it really hard to get the ball swung from side to side. But when Carroll's able to do that, it does create opportunities.
Important basket there for the Saints as they get it to 21-18 now with 7 minutes remaining in the first half. And
great steal by Cook.
Isaiah Moore on the breakaway. And coming back was Hilaire with the block, but Andrew Cook will not be deterred as he goes back up. Isaiah Moore with the offensive rebound, but his pass is stolen by Henderson. So a lot of good action there as the Saints were in transition.
It's pretty violent out there. They are going at it on those boards.
Number 3, Masi Mohammadi from the corner, knocks it down. Mohammadi was at Vanguard, who the Fighting Saints will be playing at the end of the month in California. Andrew Cook defended by Hilaire. Murat Guzalocek looks to set a pick for him. Now Andrew Cook with a pass out to Isaiah Moore. He'll fake. Step back 3. No good.
And I don't think that's the shot Carroll. Carroll needs a little better shot than that. They need to keep attacking.
Isaiah hasn't been bashful this season early going. He's been shooting really well from the field. The 3, not as much, but he still will take it. So Mohammadi, feet set, knocks down the second. He's feeling it. So Corbin in front now after 2 threes from Masi Mohammadi, the senior from San Carlos, California. Played his high school ball at Junipero Serra in Orange County. So the 2 threes from the 6'1" senior put the Warriors in front 24-21. Under 6 minutes to play in the first half from the Carroll College PE Center. Fighting Saints basketball will be with you all season long. Frontier Conference action on 94.9 FM and KCAP.com. Carroll Athletics showdown.com. Check out all things Fighting Saints this season, as Carroll's women's team was on the road. They faced Lewis Clark State College, who was ranked 13th. Saints dropped that one in a very tough early season schedule for Coach Rochelle Sayers and her veteran team.
Yeah, and I visited with Rochelle a little bit, you know, and they just had a poor shooting night. You know, girls who can shoot. We know they can shoot. We know they can score. And they had lots of good looks. Just one of those nights, ball didn't fall. And, you know, hopefully Carroll will get a chance to play LC State again at the national tournament level. And, you know, that would be really fun.
They have one of the toughest non-conference schedules of anyone in the NAIA.
They do.
They will be battle tested should they be able to return to the national tournament, as they've had success in doing so in recent years.
And they are 2-0 in conference.
They are.
And that's big. Those are the ones that count.
So on the floor for the Warriors, Colin Wormuth back in. He's joined by Reese Van Lierop from Spokane, Washington. Braden Cook brings it up the floor for the Fighting Saints. He'll drop it in to Brendan Temple, who's checked back in for the Saints. He'll go baseline and runs into the brick wall of Darius Henderson and steps on the line, it looks like. So turnover there. Ball goes to the Warriors. So another turnover for the Fighting Saints here in the early going of the first half.
Carroll only had 7 turnovers all game last night.
They have 7 already.
7 already, yeah.
We knew that was going to be important. Corbin does a nice job of turning teams over. And they're going to get Mohammadi with a 3. That one no good. He didn't have his feet set like he had in the last 2. So rebound goes to Temple, and now Andrew Cook leading the offense for the Fighting Saints. Andrew Cook gives it to Temple. Temple with a nice give and go to Cook, and a layup for Andrew Cook. Nice feed by Brendan Temple.
Beautiful. Beautiful give and go,
there.
Yep.
So the Fighting Saints cut the lead to 1. Temple providing some pressure out there on Henderson. And we're going to see an offensive foul there by Darius Henderson.
Yeah, he was cutting to the post area, and he tried to just run over Brandon Temple. The official off the ball caught it.
I guess they're going to call a different foul. That was definitely one they could have called, but this one goes on Mohammadi. We both saw the same thing. He kind of buried his shoulder into Temple, but that was not the call. I guess pick your foul on that one. So Braden Cook brings the ball up the floor as the Saints trail by 1 with 4.5 minutes from the Carroll PE Center. Cook to Garrett Long, the sophomore from Wenatchee, Washington. Long, dribble penetration, spins into the lane, backing down on Taylor Anderson. Kicks it out to Brendan Temple, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Andrew Cook backing down, spin move, turnaround, no good, short. Offensive rebound, Brendan Temple kicks it out to Braden Cook for an open 3 from the top, and the freshman knocks it down.
And that's another assist by Brandon Temple, 2 in a row. Inside, outside 3.
Fighting Saints in front, 26-24. They regain the lead in a back and forth contest. We knew it was going to be a good one, 2 6-2 teams. Darius Henderson had the arm bar going a little bit there and is able to draw the foul on Brendan Temple. So Henderson, again, 6'9", 220, from Pasadena, California, played high school at LaSalle, and a transfer from the University of Montana. Real solid 6'9". He's listed at 220. Looks a little bit bigger than that.
He does look bigger than that.
Just under 4 minutes, the Saints knock it out of bounds, and inbounding will be Colin Wormuth.
So far, they've been able to keep Darius Henderson, you know, pretty quiet. Last night, he had a huge night against Northern.
Yeah, Henderson only 2 shot attempts, and one of them was on the second possession. So Mohammadi gives it off. Behind the back dribble, 4 seconds on the shot clock. He's going to have to get this up. Looks like a shot clock violation there. Nice job by Johnny Hillman on the floor.
But they get a shot clock violation.
Excellent defensive possession, by the Fighting Saints. And they will gain possession with 3 minutes and 37 seconds left in the first quarter. Saints lead 26-24. Johnny Hillman bringing the ball up the floor. Henderson out defending him. Braden Cook gives it to Temple, now defended by Henderson. Catch and shoot, Braden Cook. So the freshman with a nice three, and then the catch and shoot there. He does a great job elevating.
It's unbelievable. It's just how quickly he gets up and how high he gets up.
28-24. Saints in front. Taylor Anderson drives the lane with a shot no good. Offensive rebound, Henderson. His pass is tipped by the Saints, goes out of bounds. 18 seconds on the shot clock. The Warriors trail by 4 with 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Taylor Anderson averaging 5 assists a game, gets it into Henderson, and then a give and go there on the
nice
inbound.
play by Corbin. The inbounder.
So Henderson with the assist to Anderson. Anyway, a 2-point game. Braden Cook bringing it up, gives it off to Johnny Hellman. He will cross half court, defended by Mohammadi. Johnny Hellman picks up his dribble, gives it off to Isaiah Moore. Isaiah Moore playing a lot in the first half for Kurt Paulson. He drives the lane with the left hand. Ball is swatted away by Colin Wormuth, but he got him with the body. Oh, nope, they're going to call it on. And I think a little mix-up there. Henderson's saying it couldn't have been me. And I think the officials will agree with him. It was on 24.
And that's where the officials have to have good teamwork because the official that makes the call sometimes doesn't quite get the number, and you'd really depend on your fellow official to get it right. And I've seen it what happens when it doesn't, and it just creates chaos. Everybody's mad.
Oh yeah, especially the senior who definitely doesn't want to go to the bench. So Isaiah Moore connects on the first of 2 free throws.
So good teamwork by the officials there.
Substitutions coming back into the game is Andrew Stafford. So Isaiah Moore 2 for 2 at the line there. He's seen a lot of minutes in the first half, becoming more of a regular rotation piece for Coach Kurt Paulson. Fighting Saints in front 30-26. Taylor Anderson gets some space, shot no good. Rebound, offensive rebound, Henderson, nice job dumping it off to number 13, Andrew Stafford, and Stafford lowers the boom on Brendan Temple. The officials will discuss this one.
And it's a help side defender. Well, no, that's a baseline defender. You don't have to be in the circle. The baseline defender does not have to be in the circle.
So the officials
they changed their mind.
Discuss it. They changed their mind. So Brendan Temple picks up his second foul, and so Coach Paulson with 2 minutes and 20 seconds will bring in.
Well, it'd be nice to have an official interpretation of that, because maybe he thought he wasn't the help side defender. He maybe thought he was the ball defender, in which case they would be right, and they usually are. Most of the time they are.
So Murat Guzalocek from Istanbul. Pretty good defense, but Henderson a couple inches taller, able to get the shot off, and he knocks it down.
Yeah, he's 4 inches taller, and that makes a big difference. You just shoot over somebody.
30-28, 2 minutes remaining in the first half, 2 minutes. Garrett Long picks up his dribble, gives it off to Isaiah Moore, 14 on the shot clock. Moore will go to work with the left hand, driving in the lane. Foul looks like it's on Josiah Roth, junior from Salem, Oregon, the hometown.
And Nick, against this kind of pressure that Corbin has, you can see you got to attack. You got to put the ball on the floor. You got to get good spacing, and you got to attack. And Isaiah is very comfortable in that role.
Does a nice job with the left hand getting there, and he obviously has a quick first step. We've seen that all season. Knocked down 2 free throws on his last trip, so we'll see the first one on a 1-and-1. He connects, so 3 in a row for the Fighting Saints. Isaiah Moore from Fairfield, California, had a career-high 21 points. Knocks down the second, and it's 32-28. Fighting Saints in front. Taylor Anderson bringing the ball up the court, drops it off to Henderson, dribble handoff. Andrew Stafford. Stafford gives it out to Henderson. Henderson set shot, 3 ball, no good. Offensive rebound by Roth, who kicks it out to Taylor Anderson. Anderson facing up on Isaiah Moore. Swings it to corner, Mohammadi. He's knocked down a couple threes in the game so far. He will dribble with his right hand.
And he did push off. That's a good call.
Offensive foul.
And now he pushed off with his left hand.
32-28, minute and 23 seconds remain.
Good defense by Garrett Long there.
So 10 fouls on the Warriors.
Yeah, they are physical. They are.
And they're deep, so they're able
Very
to bring
deep.
in a lot of
Exactly.
people without dropping off a whole lot in talent.
Exactly.
So Isaiah Moore will inbound from the baseline, gets it to Garrett Long. Full court pressure provided by Reese Van Lierup. Long drives to the middle, kicks out to Isaiah Moore. Isaiah Moore faces up. This time he'll go with the right hand and get into the lane.
Oh,
Great
that's a tough shot.
move.
That's a really tough shot.
So he's made 4 free throws and then gets the layup there for the freshman from Fairfield. 34-28, Fighting Saints in front. Taylor Anderson able to get past Moore and off to Henderson for the flush.
And that was all started by a high on-ball screen, but when they're setting it up there by half court, you can go under the on-ball. And that time Isaiah went over it and created a lane all the way to the basket. Whoa.
4-point lead for the Fighting Saints is extended to 6 as Braden Cook rises up for another one.
And Coach Paulson is backing him up right now. So Coach Paulson saw the same thing I did, because they're going to set that high on ball. And when it's that far away from the basket, you can go under the screen.
36-30, shot clock to game clock, 3-second difference. Looks like the Warriors will be content to get one last shot here. Taylor Anderson drives the lane. Multiple Saints defenders converge, kicks it out. Shot goes up, no good. Offensive rebound. Another shot fired away by the Warriors. 2 seconds, and Braden Cook with the heave off glass. Nope, it's too deep. 36-30, Fighting Saints in front at halftime. A good first half of competitive basketball.
Really a fun half. Very physical, tough game to officiate. Officials are doing a good job. Coaches, good job. Players, good job. Right now, I think the biggest surprise to me is Henderson, Darius Henderson, the 6'9" senior who played at the University of Montana and last night really did a tremendous job against Northern, and he's been held in check. He likes to shoot from the perimeter,
right?
And Carroll has been up on him really tight. They're not giving him those looks.
6 points and 3 rebounds. He sat on the bench for quite a while, as did Brendan Temple. On the foul front for the Warriors, Mateo Eschek has 2 fouls. Nasi Muhammadi also 2 fouls, but they had a lot of team fouls. And then Johnny Hillman and Brendan Temple, the 2 seniors, each with 2 fouls.
Yeah.
They sat a lot. Hillman was 3 for 3 with 7 points in the early going. Braden Cook had 7. Isaiah Moore had 8. He was 4 for 4 from the line. Really nice job by Moore as he comes off of a 21-point effort, a career high last night against Bushnell University.
He likes to play against this kind of pressure. He's got the size, the length, the speed. He can do it.
Carroll's really coming around from the free throw line. They're shooting 75% on the season, but they were really good last night, 15 for 16 from the line, and then tonight 7 for 7 so far. So an important part of winning basketball games against good teams is connecting on the free throws.
Isn't that the truth? Yes, it is.
The one piece that it was getting a little dicey there for a second, but the Fighting Saints did a good job of not turning it over towards the latter half of the first half. They had 7 turnovers, though, in the first half, so that's something to monitor. 4 turnovers for the visiting Warriors. Carroll shot 50% from the field, whereas the Warriors 39%. On the rebounding side, a little bit of an edge on the offensive glass. The Warriors had 7 offensive rebounds to the 4 of Carroll.
Yeah, it's very even, very evenly played ball game. It really is. Carroll with a 6-point lead, but it's going to be determined in the second half. These games, teams that play this hard or this talented, it's always going to be determined in the second half. First 3 minutes of the second half is really important. We always talk about that.
Yes, you have. That has been that's a consistent theme that we'll be looking at all season long. Again, we've seen enough now to get a little bit of a sense now that Isaiah Moore in the early going didn't get as many minutes, but now he's really a key rotation piece, led the team in scoring.
He did.
He gives them a little bit more length on the perimeter at 6'5" and able to defend wings of, of the caliber that you will see in the Frontier Conference shooting the ball. So he's going to be an important piece for them defensively, but also providing a lot of good offense.
And he rebounds. He's 3 rebounds, tied for the lead with Carroll with 3 rebounds. So he's huge. 8 points, 3 rebounds. That's 17 minutes he played. In fact, he's the only one that played more minutes than him was Braden Cook. So Isaiah comes off the bench, and he does a great job. Jordan Bryant, like to see him he got a few minutes, but I'm telling you, I like him, and he's going to get better and better. Right now, he's kind of the 8th man for Carroll, but he's going to have to keep contributing, getting better. Sometimes when you come from a junior college, Nick, it takes you a while to get used to the physicality, the execution, the importance of every possession at this level. Every single possession, the focus, how hard you have to play, and it takes a while for those guys. But I've seen improvement in him, and I think he's going to be a help. I thought we got some real nice minutes out of Kramer when Brandon Temple had to sit down. So those are 3 freshmen that Jordan is a junior college player, but 4 new guys to the program that are making big contributions.
And unfortunately for the Saints, both Brendan Temple and Johnny Hillman have been in foul trouble the last few games, but on the more optimistic side, it has provided key minutes for Derek Kramer in the post, and then for Isaiah Moore, as well as Bryant, as you mentioned. So they're key players for this team, and when they've been in foul trouble, the bench has been not letting Coach Paulson down. So
right, Coach Paulson has his rotation now. He's got. He knows who his starters are. He knows who guys are coming off the bench, who's going to play where, what happens when you take this guy out, how that changes what position everybody plays. And what's Carroll played, about 8 games now, Nick?
Right, 8 and a couple exhibitions.
Exhibitions. So now you're kind of getting a feel for where you are and what your team's capable of. And Carroll's improved. There's no question that they're a much better team than they were 4 weeks ago. Even when they were a week ago, they've improved.
Yeah, and we've seen the team. We knew there was going to be a lot of freshmen that were going to need to come up with big minutes, but it has not taken long for them to become integral parts of this rotation. And we know that not a lot of, Murat, we kind of wondered, who's the first big off the bench, and it's really become Derek Kramer right now.
It has.
Yep.
And Derek is just bigger. Nothing against Murat. He plays hard. He works hard. But, Derek Kramer's 6'9", and Murat's, 6'5.5" ish. And that's a big difference. Yeah, what Derek can do. And Derek changes shots. He can block shots. And just that size. It's still a big man's game in many ways.
Absolutely, especially when you're playing a team like Corbin, who brings out both Henderson and then the 6'9" Carlson, who comes in off the bench. So even when their star player Henderson goes to the bench, they come back with another 6'9" player with D1 experience and James Carlson. So it's important that
Nick, where did Carlson play?
Idaho State.
My goodness, so they've got 2 Division 1 bounce backs.
Right.
Idaho State
Both
and University of Montana.
Guys, yeah.
Bigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about 8 minutes before we will resume second half action from the Carroll College PE Center, Fighting Saints in front, 36-30. All season long, Fighting Saints basketball presented by Play It Again Sports, your locally owned sports store selling new and used equipment. They buy used equipment every day. And by Placer Subaru. There's buying a Subaru, and then there's buying a Subaru from Placer Motors, Subaru, west of town on Highway 12. And from Mattress Firm, Montana's largest Tempur-Pedic retailer, Save time, save money. Mattress Firm. The Fighting Saints at home for 2 games of the Comfort Suites Classic. They played Bushnell University last night, put up 99 in a really fast-paced, high-octane offensive performance. So that was terrific. And then they get a tough Corbin team, a little bit more lower scoring, but this is important for them before they hit the road for some games in Arizona, and then also to California to wrap up the 2022 season before Frontier Conference plays starts in earnest January 5th against Montana Tech in Butte. So as a coach, longtime Carroll men's coach, and then as an assistant for the women's team for many years, in the pre-conference side, does your approach change much in terms of, obviously, when you have newer players, are you more likely to play more players, do you think, in the non-conference, or is it just game by game dependent?
What I think you have to do, Nick, when you're in a situation where Coach Paulson is with, he's got 4 new players contributing, 4 new kids that are brand new to the program. You really have to keep it simple. You can't try to do too much, and every coach in America tries to do too much. I promise you, I did. Everybody I ever coached with did or knew about. Because you just, you look out there and you say, well, if I run this for that kid, he could be successful. But it's so easy to confuse kids, and especially kids that are brand new to the situation. So Coach Paulson's big challenge is keep it as simple as he can keep it so that the kids don't think too much. I mean, there's an old thing called analysis paralysis, where you analyze too much. And I know you've played a lot of golf, and I know you're a really good golfer, but you know what I'm talking about in golf. You have too many swing thoughts.
Yes.
You have no chance to be successful. Maybe one swing thought.
Right. Decisiveness is really important in all sports.
It is.
It really ends up being, especially most athletics, the moment of truth is a split second, whether it be baseball, making a split second decision. That's a little bit more reactionary, but sometimes the longer time you have, and that's why, again, like something like free throws, that can be one of those things where a really good shooter can struggle from the foul line because they're not catching in rhythm. They've got all the time in the world there to think about their mechanics potentially, things like that. So it's a great point. And as freshmen, some of these, Braden Cook obviously from Helena, but a lot of these people, they're new to Montana, they're new to Helena. Maybe they're new to the winter. We got some California players. Everything's a little different. So, that mental part can creep in a little bit for better or for worse, but everyone's been acclimating pretty well here.
There's an adjustment to Carroll, the academic rigor, the cold if you're coming from California, living in the dorm, it's first time you've done it, it can be a real challenge. It really can. But these kids have really stepped up, and they're making a big contribution to the team right now.
We have seen, though, this seems like a real cohesive group that is, they seem connected as far as teammates. There's a lot of positivity, and a lot of, sometimes we see teams where there's a little bit of miscommunications, and you can see in those moments some of the players not take responsibility on other teams. I haven't seen that from Carroll in the early going, so it seems like they enjoy playing. And we've seen the ball move, too. Yeah. Another hallmark of good offensive teams is not stagnant offense of like one-on-one. There's really nobody who the ball goes in and it's a black hole.
I think the coaches really like this team and like coaching these kids. Kurt Paulson and Seth Yates and assistant coach Jack Mulder. You talk to those guys, they like this team. These kids are coachable, and they want to be coached. That's the other thing. A kid has to want to be coached. And it's like, what I used to tell them is, my players is, you have to give permission to me to let me coach you. That's something you decide on. Are you going to let me coach you, or are you not going to let me coach you? This group of kids, they don't have that problem. They want to be coached.
It's paying off so far as they're undefeated at home, 4-0 coming into tonight's matchup with the early lead here, 36-30 from the PE Center. If you're just joining us, the Fighting Saints in front. Another solid offensive performance, shooting 50% from the field. Really all season long, we've been seeing the offensive efficiency in the high. We haven't seen a lot of nights where they haven't been able to shoot the ball. It's been a little bit more, are they turning it over potentially? But it's a good start for Coach Kurt Paulson here, as he'd like to pick up a 7th win tonight against the hometown fans before those mentioned road trips to Arizona and California.
Well, Brayton Cook, who's starting now at the point guard, provides them some perimeter shooting. I mean, he's a real deal shooter from the perimeter. I mean, what you call a pure shooter, and he's a threat out there. The other kids are capable of making shots, and they're going to have days that they make them, but they're a little bit more slashers. They can score, but they're not necessarily pure shooters. Braden's a pure shooter. And that's why I think Coach Paulson moved him into the starting lineup. Just a freshman, coming from Helena Capital High School, and he's starting at point guard for a very good Frontier Conference team.
He does bring another dimension because, as you've mentioned multiple times this season, Garrett Long and Johnny Hillman, they're not just pure face-up shooters all the time. They can connect from three-point range, but that's not where they're at their best. They're better on the penetration.
I call them slashers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brayden Cook, that's important, especially if they're facing a zone or something like that. He's a guy that can fill it up quickly from the outside. So
starting the second half, Nick, Carroll has the arrow, which means they will get the ball out of bounds to start the half. And we always like to mention the first 3 minutes of the second half, very critical. Always tells you so much. Did we make the right adjustments at halftime? That's how I felt. Are the kids ready? Are they determined? And you can tell so much by that first 3 minutes.
Do you think that the Fighting Saints are going to be facing more zone as the season goes on, given the fact that, as you mentioned, Cook's one of their main outside threats, but it's not necessarily the strength of the team?
Good point. They might. They very well might. They might, and I don't think we're going to see any zone tonight.
Right, Corbin, as you mentioned, really good man-to-man.
Yeah, we might. Providence likes to play zone. Steve Keller, he likes to play zone. Northern doesn't play much zone. Montana Tech doesn't play much zone. Western might play a little zone.
So we're starting off the second half from the Carroll PE Center. Fighting Saints in front, going left to right in their purple uniforms. Entry pass to Brendan Temple, who sat out a lot of the first half last night, but he will go strong to the goal, no good.
He had a good look. He just missed it. He shot it over the rim. It was a good move baseline. He just missed it.
Darius Henderson swings it to Andrew Stafford, defended by Andrew Cook. Mohammadi kicks it over to Anderson. Anderson between the leg, hedged by Temple. Anderson into the lane, 6 seconds on the shot clock. 3 seconds. They're at Henderson, face up. He's just so in control at all times. Never looks like he's all that concerned with much of anything.
Sometimes he doesn't look like he's playing hard.
That's right. Darius Henderson, the big man, knocks it down.
But he is a talent, no doubt.
8 points. And the Saints lead is 4 now. And Brendan Temple will go to work against Henderson. He'll swing it over to Andrew Cook. Cook got off to a fast start, but then kind of disappeared a little bit in terms of shot attempts. Garrett Long driving in the lane, goes strong to the goal. Bodies crashing in as Henderson trips over Long. Garrett Long, I feel about 50% of the time when he drives the lane, he ends up on the floor. He's good at drawing the foul. He comes in with a lot of tenacity.
Yeah, I mean, he's really only about 6'1", and tenacious.
So he draws the foul. You mentioned that he had the broken finger earlier in the season, so he's kind of getting back into more minutes for Coach Paulson in his rotation.
Garrett played at Wenatchee High School for Travis Williams, who was a teammate of Kurt's at Carroll.
Nice shot by Long there on the first free throw. He connects, 37-32. Fighting Saints in front. Second one on the way from long, and that's good. So they continue their strong free throw shooting. 38-32, Fighting Saints in front. Henderson will show the pick and then exit and go to the post. They'll find him in the lane. Former University of Montana player. Nice bounce pass though, but defended well by Andrew Cook as he gets the steal.
Help side defense by Andrew Cook. Very effective that time.
Gives it to Braden Cook, who then gives it to Hillman. Hillman will drive the lane. He was effective with 7 points in the first half. He drops it off to Cook. Cook shot, no good, short. Offensive rebound, Brendan Temple. So the Saints have 17 on the clock. Andrew Cook drives the lane. Turnover.
He was going into a spin move there and he kind of fumbled the ball, and that caused the travel violation there.
Yeah, Eschek was able, right place, right time to be able to get the tie up there. So the possession arrow now in favor of the Warriors. Mohammadi with an excellent entry pass into Henderson. He threaded the needle there, Coach.
He did. Yep.
So Darius Henderson now the leading scorer on the team with 15 points into double figures, and he will try to capitalize on a three-point play opportunity.
And that's just how good he is. He just doesn't even feel like he's had a very good game. He's got 15 points. Yeah.
Well, he's got 10. He's averaging 15.
Oh, averaging 15. There
right,
you go.
But he's well on his way to getting there now in the second half. Yeah. He's got 11 now. Not a lot of shot attempts for him, but a great feed by Mohammadi. Threw it over the shoulder of Temple. Almost impossible to defend there. So Braden Cook crosses midcourt, drops it off to Isaiah Moore. 38-35, Fighting Saints in front. They led by 6 at half. Garrett Long over to Hillman. Hillman bounce pass into Temple. He'll go baseline. Nice job by Brendan Temple attacking. And boy, it's tough for him against Henderson. But
what I like, he got the post feed there and he attacked immediately. He didn't fool around. He got it and just drove hard baseline. Attack.
Doesn't have a lot of opportunity to be guessing. Again, you know, that analysis paralysis, he has to go up strong because Henderson is a big guy and is able to be a shot blocker. So Temple misses a free throw, a rare occurrence lately as he's been shooting 79% from the free throw line. That was the first foul on Henderson. Second free throw on the way from Temple and no good. So 0 for 2 on that trip. 3-point lead for the Fighting Saints.
You won't see him do that very often.
No, we haven't.
Maybe once a year.
So entry pass into Henderson, defended by Temple, who has 2 fouls. He will fade away. Shot no good. Rebound, Braden Cook. And Mohammadi, who's really a spirited player for the Warriors.
Yeah.
Providing some good hustle there. He knocked down a couple threes.
And that time Braden had the rebound. He kind of got trapped there on the baseline. Lost ball.
Anderson, entry to Henderson, who will pick back to Anderson. Anderson dribbling with the left hand, defended by Long. Long, an excellent on-ball defender. Temple gives him some help. 8 on the shot clock. Deep 3 by Anderson is no good. And Isaiah Moore comes crashing in for the rebound, but it goes out of bounds.
And Henderson's just so big.
He is.
I mean, that he kept that rebound alive.
You know, he's listed at 6'9", and Temple's listed at 6'8", but there's definitely more than
there is
between the two of them.
Yeah, I'd take 2.5, 3 inches difference.
Yeah. So he will palm the ball to the outside as he faces up. He gets some help from Hillman. Now it's Eschek in the lane, facing up, in and out. Rebound, Isaiah Moore. So a nice defensive job by the Saints there as they lead by 3. They led at halftime by 6. Johnny Hillman on the attack. Finish and the foul.
I got an and one. Johnny with a little change of pace as he came across the half-court line and then hit another gear and got an and one.
He was really effective early on with his dribble drive and got a couple fouls, sat out. Now Henderson will check out for a bit. He's got a little blood on his elbow, it looks like. So Johnny Hillman now 9 points on the evening. He will look to get his 10th. He had 9 yesterday, shot no good. So that's 3 straight misses by the Fighting Saints at the free throw line. After we were talking in glorious terms about their efficient free throw shooting, they've missed 30 in a row. 40-35, 16 minutes and change left in the second half. Here comes Eschek with the left hand. Johnny Hillman will pick up the foul.
And that is his 3rd.
Hillman's had some foul trouble all season long, been a little bit of a theme, but he's, as we mentioned earlier, nice job of avoiding the foul out, disqualification. So college, you get 5, and he's had 4 a lot, but not 5. So S-check at the line.
And S-check is a load to handle. I mean, he's one of those guys, a slasher that attacks the rim hard, and he is a load. It's hard to stay in front of him and not foul him, and he's big.
This is a good Corbin team.
6'6".
The Warriors they're veteran. They've got good size.
6'6" and handles in attack.
And then checking in for him is Hilaire, who showed those defensive quick hands getting the steals, and he's averaging 2 a game off the bench. It's one thing to have 2 steals a game as a starter. It's a whole other thing off the bench with limited minutes. So Hillman, Fighting Saints in front by 4. He will attack, tries to draw a contact. Henderson holds his ground and gets the block. Back comes the Warriors. Taylor Anderson there. A lob pass is defended by Derek Kramer, who checked in for
we're talking about
Temple.
why 6'9" helps.
That's right. Excellent job by him. Isaiah Moore attacks the goal, kicks it out to Andrew Cook. Andrew Cook heads to the corner. Hillman driving, attacking again, and drawing another foul. So Johnny Hillman hits the deck.
What a lot of teams do now defensively, Nick, when the ball's on the wing, when you're guarding the ball on the wing, as they call it, ice, and they force you to go baseline, and they won't let you come back middle. Well, Johnny Hillman, he'll just take that, and he'll just go 100 miles an hour right to the baseline, and it's tough to stop him. And he draws a lot of fouls just with his dribble penetration.
So that foul was on Andrew Stafford, the 6'4" junior, his second. Stafford a starter on Taylor Kelly's team. Hillman knocks it down, and we'll see the...
Guy Pedra comes in, and this will be his first action in 2 nights.
From Sao Paulo, Brazil, he has the second most three-point makes on the team in limited action, but 40% from beyond the arc, so he provides some offensive prowess off the bench. Hillman connects on both free throws, and the Fighting Saints are in front by 6. So a lot of reserves on the floor for both teams as James Carlson has re-entered the game for the Warriors. Reese Van Leerup, then Wormuth. Taylor Anderson defended by Moore. Moore has quite a bit of length.
Oh, that's a tough shot.
Nice scoop.
I mean, he scooped it behind his back. He couldn't see the ball. He could not see the rim. I don't know how he made that shot.
He was giving up 7 inches against Isaiah Moore. That's the only way he could get it. So Johnny Hillman, penetration, kick out, corner 3 by Pedra is off the front of the rim. 4-point lead right now. The rebound goes to Hilaire, Dirk Hilaire from La Mirada, California. Nice defensive job by Isaiah Moore, swatting away the pass by Anderson, but it comes back to Anderson. Carlson, the 6'9" player, up at the top. And then a deep 3 is no good. Nice job by Kramer, tipping it to Andrew Cook.
Good box out. Good box out.
Andrew Cook driving the lane. The convergence again by Hilaire with the hands, and he's able to force another turnover.
You said it. He's a defensive whiz. I mean, he causes a lot of turnovers.
Carlson will head to the post as Taylor Anderson, with 5 assists per game, swings it over to the corner. Wormuth behind the back, defended by Cook.
Good defense by Cook there.
8 seconds. Anderson, defended by Kramer. Kramer will flash, and a deep 3 by Anderson. Front iron, no good, but the tip in by James Carlson. 42-40, 14 minutes left. So Coach Turcotte, we saw this a little bit against Northern. Andrew Cook got off to a good start. Just hasn't had a lot of room, but he hasn't had a shot in as long as I can recall. And another steal by Hilaire. He's going to go towards the rack. Nice job by Hillman not fouling, but Hilaire gets the quick bucket. And it's 42-42, a tie game with 13 minutes, 40 seconds. What do you do to get Andrew Cook? He's so good at getting his shot off, but they have really been double teaming him.
They've taken away his penetration. Like you said, when he penetrates in there, they're collapsing on him. and he's got to play against 2 or 3 guys, and right now Brendan Temple is not in the ball game, and Carroll runs so much of their offense through him. When he's not in the ball game, then they just put him back in. I think they just checked him back in.
Yep.
They just put so much pressure on the other guys to make plays.
So Andrew Cook, he averages almost 16 points per game. He got off to a good start. He made a 3 from the top of the key. But, the shot attempts, that might be something as we look forward in the season. He has 8 attempts, which is, it's not nothing. It's not like he's not getting any shot attempts, but it's been a while since he's been able to get.
And they need him. There's 13 minutes, 41 seconds to go. We got a score game tied. And they're going to need Andrew Cook to get cooking because he can.
Yes, he can. Absolutely. We got 2 cooks in the house.
2 cooks.
That's right. It's not too many. Johnny Hillman, 11 points leading the Fighting Saints. He's in double figures. For the Warriors, Darius Henderson has 11. So 2 players in double figures, 1 for each team. Both teams shooting the ball well, not settling for a lot of deep threes, although we've seen a couple shot clock violations, a couple really nice defensive possessions by the Saints. It's the offensive side here in the second half where they currently have 6 points in the first 6 minutes of play. Missed a few free throws. Brendan Temple checking back into the game. Jordan Bryant also on the floor for the Fighting Saints. Bryant, the junior. Carmichael, California. Braden Cook. Defended by Hilaire. Hilaire has been a real challenging on-ball defender. Jordan Bryant swings it to the top for Cook. Cook looking around the perimeter, 9 seconds. Entry pass to Temple. Temple gives it off to Cook, and then an open 3 for Jordan Bryant. Shot no good. Offensive rebound. Temple 1 dribble and draws the foul there. Nice job on the offensive glass.
Yep. Good weak side rebound by Brandon Temple.
And
good ball movement that time. Good offense by Carroll against some real tenacious defense by Corbin.
Right, and as we mentioned, so Henderson checked out with some blood on the elbow, and then they're able to bring Carlson in, who's also 6'9", so it's really...
They don't lose an awful lot.
They don't. It's a challenge there.
You said earlier that they're really deep, and I think that's one of the things that we're seeing here tonight, just how deep Corbin is.
Right.
9, 10 guys, and they don't lose much when they sub them.
And the Fighting Saints have essentially an 8-person rotation. We've seen 10 players get on the floor, but really they rotated. Kind of Kramer is the big, mostly coming in, and then you mentioned Moore, and then Bryant sees a little bit. But Isaiah Moore getting a lot of minutes right now. He had a career high 21 last night, and done a nice job.
Yeah, and he had a big first half.
Yeah,
and hasn't been able to get much going here. Second half, Carroll has struggled offensively a little bit, but the score's tied, and defense has been pretty solid. They haven't made many defensive mistakes, but they need to get something going. And good timeout that time by Coach Paulson, and he'll drop a few things here, take advantage of what he sees, and this is just a great college basketball game. I mean, this is a lot like a conference game. It's not just a non-conference game. This 2 really good teams playing against each other.
Corbin 2 of 11 from 3-point range, so they've been struggling on that front. And then the one thing we'll also be keeping track of is the fouls. They had a lot of fouls in the first half. 15 team fouls in total right now. Nobody in dire straits for Corbin, really, but Eschek has 3 fouls, so he has been sitting. Fighting Saints back in action. Brendan Temple gives it to Braden Cook, and he knocks down a corner shot there for 2. So a nice job out of the timeout.
And Carroll loves to play through Brendan Temple. They do. Inside, outside, he's a good passer. Ooh, nice take.
Excellent job by Colin Warmoth getting to the rack.
And Warmoth he just comes off the bench for him. I mean, they got a lot of good players.
Right. Warmoth is 46% from 3, but not someone that settles as he goes to the lane there. So it's Hilaire again, pestering Andrew Cook. Cook, again, that kind of causes its own turnover as that gets into Warmoth's hands. Taylor Anderson will set up the offense, gets it to James Carlson, the 6'9" senior we mentioned, played at Idaho State, and Anderson unable to connect on the jumper. Rebound, Jordan Bryant. So Hilaire has been a one-man defensive wrecking crew.
Well,
here.
I think that's why Andrew, why he's had such a hard time.
Brendan Temple facing up against Carlson, kicks it out to Isaiah Moore, top of the key, 3-ball. It's good.
Oh, that'll help him. Another inside-outside, playing through your center.
So 11 points for Isaiah Moore. He's in double figures again after a career-high 21 last night. And now a 3-ball from Taylor Anderson. He hasn't been able to connect on those. A couple opportunities for the 5'10" junior. Fighting Saints in front, 47-44, 11 minutes, 30 seconds from the Carroll PE Center. Along with Gary Turcotte, I'm Nick Dietzen. Fighting Saints basketball all season long. We'll be with you.
Oh!
And a deep 3 from
Jordan Bryant. And Jordan just had 2 defensive rebounds in a row, so he's got his head up. And that was a skip pass, clear across the key.
And Taylor Kelly will call a timeout
And I love to see him get going because I think he's got a lot of ability. And he's a junior college kid you talk about.
Right.
Going to take a while, but I mean, that's wonderful to see him come in and make a contribution like that.
So 2 threes extends the lead back to 6. It was 6 at the break, 36-30. The Fighting Saints were in front. They really haven't been able to get it much past that 6, which is not saying anything. We knew it was going to be a close game, and it has.
And they just play so much better when Brandon Temple is in the ball game because they run their offense through him. When he gets touches, then he's such a good passer. And they cut and they fade and they screen, and he finds the open player. And that's the last 2 open shots that they had were all inside-outsides by Brandon.
So Brendan Temple, 5 points, 5 rebounds, but 7 assists.
Yeah.
To your point.
Yeah, 7
when
assists.
they go through him, good things have been happening.
They do. Yeah.
So Brendan Temple was a point guard earlier in his high school days, and then Kurt Paulson mentioned he had a growth spurt.
Yeah.
So it's evident when you watch him that he's comfortable facing up, and he goes to the back to the basket. We've joked about the comparisons of Kevin McHale with a lot of his great post moves around the basket, but he has handles.
And Nick, I noticed that Dirk Hilaire has come out of the ball game, which should help Andrew Cook, because Hilaire is one heck of a defensive player, and Andrew might get a little more opportunity now.
Without a doubt. Elijah Mitchell checking in for the Warriors. Mateo Eschek with 3 fouls coming back in, and he goes to the rack.
Carroll playing with 2 bigs now, with both Temple and Kramer in the ball game.
There you go.
I haven't seen him do that much.
Braden Cook gives it to Temple out past the 3-point line. As we mentioned, he's dribbling and gets into the post and swings it cross court. Braden Cook, 3-ball, no good. Missed time jump. There were 2 Saints players there that tried to get the rebound, but to no avail. And back come the Warriors, trailing by 6, 10.5 minutes remaining. Elijah Mitchell, he knows one direction, and that's into the lane. Mitchell, no good, but he draws the foul.
Yeah, and you can see now that we've watched these Corbin players, the tendencies that they have. And
he's 0 for 5.
Elijah Mitchell, but he's an attack guy.
That's right.
He's a slash guy.
This is his second time he's drawn the foul. He's 1 for 2 so far. This one up and good. And then checking in is Darius Henderson. Got a breather there, but he'll be back on the floor. And also joining him, Masi Mohammadi. So as you mentioned, the 2 bigs are countered by 2 bigs. This is the first time that we've seen Carlson and Henderson on at the same time. So, nice job by the Saints corralling the loose ball that was thrown into the middle with all those bigs on the floor. 50-45, 10 minutes, 12 seconds remaining from the Carroll PE Center. Fighting Saints, ranked number 23 nationally. Derek Kramer, the freshman, gives it off to freshman teammate Braden Cook. Nice job.
And that time he had to hang and shoot on the way down. because he was defended and contested so hard. That's a tough shot.
That was a fantastic job. He really likes that corner.
Yes,
shot.
he does.
He's been very comfortable over there. Nice pull-up jumper there, as you mentioned, hang time. Mateo driving the lane, no good. 2 offensive rebounds. Carlson misses, and then the other big Henderson converts.
Well, they got a 6'10" and a 6'9" in the ball game.
Offensive rebounds there.
Yeah, and that time they just took over the offensive boards.
So the Fighting Saints had their largest lead for about 10 seconds as they led by 7. Now it's a 5-point margin. Johnny Hillman with the left hand defended by Mitchell. Cook again, boom, knocks it down. And he's feeling it.
He is. And Johnny Hillman got him a nice little shot.
So Braden Cook 5 for 8 in the game right now. He's in double figures, so 3 players with 11 each. 2 freshmen, Moore and Cook, and then Johnny Hillman, the senior, all have 11 for the Fighting Saints. Henderson, cross-court pass is stolen by Andrew Cook, and he dribbles it off his foot, I thought. But no call on the floor. Now the ball in transition gets into Henderson.
And that was a bad mistake by Andrew there. That was a 4-point turnaround.
He drew contact there. It looked like he dribbled off his foot.
Dribbled off his foot. Yeah, he got a little anxious. But instead of the 2 you get, you give them 2.
So 54-49, 5-point lead for the Saints. Johnny Hillman defended, double team there. Jordan Bryant, 3-ball, top of the key. Offensive rebound, Andrew Cook goes up straight with it, no good. Multiple players diving in. The rebound is corralled by Carlson, and they're gonna call a foul there. James Carlson, the 6'9" senior from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. First foul there on Bryant. He will check out for Garrett Long, and then
Bryant, nice job. I mean, he made some nice contribution, and he's part of the rotation at Carroll. He's like the 8th guy, but he's going to be valuable as this season progresses.
He has 5 rebounds in limited action.
Yeah.
And then so Braden Cook has 13, 6 for 9, 1 for 4 from 3. So he's made all of his 2-point attempts. Anderson picks up his dribble. The big man from the corner, Carlson, no good. Nice job by Cook.
Big rebound by Andrew there. In traffic.
5-point lead for the Saints with under 8 minutes to play. Braden Cook, the freshman, to the top. Johnny Hillman, defended by Carlson. He's got a little bit of a speed advantage. Nice job dumping it.
Oh, great pass. Great pass.
So he goes in among the trees.
He does.
And drops it low.
And
nice
he pivots.
Job.
He pivots so well in there, Nick. He'll get in there in the key, and he'll pivot and find a good angle to shoot or somebody open.
So 7-point margin ties the largest lead of the game. Mateo Eschek driving with the left hand draws a foul. First foul on Braden Cook. And now we will see Hilaire, the second, coming in, and then Isaiah Moore, but we will have a full timeout on the floor. So 7 minutes, 20 seconds, 56-49. Fighting Saints in front. This is the second game of the Comfort Suites Classic. They won 99-82 over Bushnell University last night. Career high performances by Isaiah Moore and Braden Cook, both freshmen. Moore had 21, Cook had 14. Cook has 13. He might be on his way to another career high.
Yes, he might. Yeah. And I saw that Brandon Temple just reported back in the ball game. He had a nice little rest there.
They need him with the big men. Henderson,
so
the leading scorer for the Warriors. He's got 15 on 7 for 10 shooting, 5 rebounds. Mateo Eschek, 6 points, 4 assists to go along with 4 rebounds. He's been active, but 3 fouls.
You know, Nick, I would bet you that Corbin's going to be at the top of, or near the top of the conference, the Cascade Conference that they're in. I mean, I know, College of Idaho is usually pretty good. Oregon Tech is usually pretty good. Sometimes Eastern Oregon is good. But I'll bet you that Corbin is going to be right there. If not the best team, I bet you're one of their top 2 or 3.
Much remains to be seen, but they definitely display a lot of versatility, a lot of talent. They're a veteran, so I would bet like you are that they will be at or near the top of the standings.
Good guards, good bigs, good depth.
Strong defense, which always travels well. Interior pass goes into Stafford, who had a couple fouls. He is the fadeaway jumper and knocks that down in the face of Andrew.
That's a tough shot. But
absolutely is.
Nobody gets an easy shot in this game, either team.
It has. It's been well defended by both teams. Not a lot of transition baskets. Everything coming in the half-court set. 56-51, 7 minutes remaining. Fighting Saints in front. Brennan Temple, Isaiah Moore, Johnny Hillman, Andrew Cook, Garrett Long. So Andrew Cook will go to work, kicks it out to Isaiah Moore. Moore gets into the lane, swings it out to Hillman. Hillman faces up. Hilaire again with the active hand.
Andrew Cook was trying to pass it, and he tried to bat it, and it went in. Unbelievable. He was not attempting to shoot that ball.
Smiles on the face of nearly everyone that's not a Corbin University fan, as that one was one for the highlight reel. A batted ball, and it looked like it swished, to be honest.
It splashed.
It was amazing.
It did.
Yeah. 58-51, Fighting Saints in front by 7 on the Andrew Cook magic there. Knocking it in. Better lucky than good sometimes.
Oh. And that time, Henderson set an on-ball screen and slipped to the basket. And I think they could do that more. He's just such a big target.
So Eschek with his 5th assist as he got it into Henderson. He was 8 for 11, but really hasn't demanded a lot of offense. He's been just getting it where it comes. A real quiet performance by their leading scorer. He's got 17 though. 5-point lead for the Fighting Saints, and Braden Cook will re-enter after a quick couple minutes on the bench there. He's got 13 to lead the Fighting Saints on a very diverse group of offensive scoring performances. 13, 11, 11, 9.
I think Carroll took a timeout there, got just a 30. It looks like, I don't know, they're going to go, right, just a 30, so they're not going to go immediate. So 58-53, Nick, 6 minutes to go. Carroll with the sideline out of bounds.
We expected this to be a close one.
And it is.
Darius Henderson was a strong player, but it's been interesting that with 17 points, he just hasn't demanded a lot of shots, but he's 8 for 11. He's not been forcing anything. They just, when it comes to him, it goes pretty well.
That last possession where he set that on ball and slipped, and he's such a big target. He's 6'10", and it's an easy pass to get it to him. And then when he gets it, he's above the rim or right next to the rim. And I think maybe that's why Coach Paulson called timeout there, to maybe defend that a little differently.
And the player who I've been just blown away by, hasn't had as many minutes as you'd expect for the impact that he's had, is Dirk Hilaire, who's back in. Nice one-arm rebound by Henderson, but Hilaire has been just so active in giving Cook fits and really has provided a lot of on-ball. So hammering down a dunk in the lane is Henderson on that
all
one.
of a sudden, he started to assert himself.
Yeah, he's got 19 now in the game, 9 for 12, as the lead has been cut from 7 to 3. Fighting Saints in front, 58-55, 5.5 minutes remaining in the game. Braden Cook backing in. Now we'll pull it back out, defended by Taylor Anderson. Brendan Temple facing up on Henderson. Henderson gives him some room. Now Temple will go back to the basket. Foul called on Henderson.
And that is the 16th foul. So next one, Carroll will be shooting the 1-and-1. Both teams with 16 fouls. So 1-and-1s the rest of the way.
Hillman enters, starts the offense, tries to get it into Temple, and it's Hilaire again. Hands, feet, whatever it takes. He's been all over the place.
20 seconds on the shot clock.
Hillman inbounding. Gets it into the hands of Braden Cook. Brendan Temple facing up on Henderson. Nice pass into Hillman. Hillman, 2 players converge on him. 11 seconds on the shot clock.
And he got 3 seconds in the key there.
So nice defense by Corbin University.
And
there.
Corbin's they have picked up their defense a little bit there. It's game swings back and forth defensively.
Fighting Saints have been in front for most of the game, led by as much as 7. Mateo Eschek with the ball, defended by Hillman.
Oh.
He gets to the lane pretty easily
and
misses a bunny. Nice strong rebound by Brendan Temple.
I don't know how he missed that.
He had too much space. We haven't seen many opportunities like that tonight.
Good point.
It's been so well contested that he probably didn't know what to think with that much room. Brendan Temple backing in. He's got a size advantage there on
and that's a real good take.
Stafford.
And what Carroll doing now is they're screening for Brandon Temple and forcing a switch. So Brandon can go against Corbin's 4-player instead of Henderson. Henderson is just so big. It's such a difficult for Brandon Temple to get a shot off of him. But that's a good adjustment there by Carroll.
So Stafford picks up his 3rd foul, and Brendan Temple is able to connect on the free throw. He is now 4 for 6 on the evening. The Frontier Conference Player of the Week last week after 2 Frontier Conference contests. That will be it for 2022, and then the final 13 games of the Frontier season will resume in January. Fighting Saints will play Montana Tech January 5th. Taylor Anderson rises up and knocks down a shot from the elbow. 60-57. 4 minutes. We got a good one, Coach.
Yes, we do.
We expected it. 2 teams coming in at 6-2 records, both solid defensive clubs and also strong offensive teams, shooting both in the 47% range. Hillman picks up his dribble, swings it out to Isaiah Moore. 3 ball.
Oh.
He hits it down.
And that took a lot of courage to let that go. He hasn't taken a shot in about 8 minutes, and he had just great courage to take that one.
So Isaiah Moore knocks down the 3. He's got a smile on his face, and his team is thrilled with that shot. That was a big one as they extend the lead from 3 to 6. So 3.5 minutes. Henderson will probably be re-entering the game. Both teams on the cusp here. We got 1-and-1s for Carroll, and then Carroll on the next foul will give Corbin the same. So we got a lot of game left with 3.5 minutes.
Oh yeah, it's an eternity. 2 timeouts left for Carroll, 2 timeouts left for the Warriors. But Carroll's got it. That last set is what you call horns, Nick, when they got 2 post players upsetting on-ball screens at the elbow, and that Carroll didn't have a good plan for that. I'm sure that's what Coach Paulson is chalking over there. They got too good of a shot last time off of that, so we'll see how they maybe defend that a little bit differently.
So the 2 freshman players are the leading scorers for the Fighting Saints. Isaiah Moore, 14 points now off that 3, and then 13 for Braden Cook. So Isaiah Moore, as you mentioned, hadn't taken a shot in quite some time. He's 4 for 6 from the field, 2 for 3 from deep. He's so good at driving. And yet, we've noticed he's not been shy when given the opportunity to shoot the 3.
Yeah.
And it's proven effective in these 2 games as he had 21 last night.
Well, it's really tough when you haven't shot for a long time. And it's been a long, I can't hardly remember the last shot he took. But he wasn't bashful on that one. It was deep.
Yeah, and his teammates were loving it as they doubled the lead from 3 to 6. 3.5 minutes left on the floor for the Fighting Saints. The seniors, Johnny Hillman and Brendan Temple, and then the freshman combination of Braden Cook and Isaiah Moore, and then Andrew Cook, the leading scorer on the season, averaging 15.9. He's been quiet in the second half here. Henderson hands it off to Anderson. Anderson probes the lane, defended by Isaiah Moore. Up and under, no good. Offensive rebound by Henderson is corralled. And Brendan Temple is upset that he was unable to come down with it. So the 7th team foul for the Fighting Saints. That one will be charged to Brendan Temple, and that is his 4th.
Ooh.
Derek Hilaire comes in.
And Nick, you can just see Henderson really asserting himself. I mean, some of the game, I thought he was asleep, but he isn't asleep right now.
No, he's been erupting offensively, knocks down the free throw.
Yeah. And that was the front end of a 1-and-1, which is a big one.
On the season, he's 59.5% from the field, 50% from three, and 86% from the line.
Yeah.
So those are incredible numbers.
They are.
So he knocks down both free throws. He is the game's leading scorer with 21 points and 7 rebounds, but he's done it on 9 of 12 shooting. 4-point lead, Fighting Saints with just over 3 minutes. Brendan Temple, the big man, will bring it past midcourt, gives it off to Johnny Hillman as the Fighting Saints will start their offensive set. Braden Cook, the true freshman from Helena Capital, drops it off to Hillman, to Andrew Cook, and then to Braden Cook, and then flashing in is Isaiah Moore. He spins and got off his feet there. Didn't know where to go.
Good defense by Corbin.
So the Warriors, Anderson attacking the lane, no good. Offensive rebound, Henderson. Temple needs to not foul. He does a good job there of contesting and not fouling.
And big rebound by Johnny Hillman.
63-59, 2.5 minutes left. Fighting Saints in front. Nice job by Temple not picking up that foul as Henderson went at him. 4 fouls on Brendan Temple. Andrew Cook driving in the lane, backing down. Fakes left, turns right, drops it in. Nice job, Andrew Cook.
And Dirk Hilaire now is guarding Johnny Hillman, and he is their best defender.
So double figures for Andrew Cook, and then a drive by Mateo Eschek. He's able to connect. Hadn't scored in a while. So again, it's just been hard for the Saints to get much past the 6 or 7 point lead. We knew this was going to be a close one, and it has lived up to that as we duck under 2 minutes remaining in the game. Saints in front by 4. Braden Cook between the legs. He's defended by Anderson. He's got a nice size advantage on him. Brendan Temple in the post, defended by Henderson. He'll go in. Henderson blocks it. Ball comes out. 5 seconds on the shot. 4 seconds. Johnny Hillman needs to get one up. 3-point shot is short.
Oh, and
rebound by Eschek. Minute and 20 seconds. Fighting Saints are in front by 4. That was a tough possession offensively. Eschek.
He's going to take him one-on-one. He's going to go one-on-one.
And there's a timeout.
And he got a timeout, yeah.
A minute and 9 seconds left as the timeout was called by Taylor Kelly of Corbin University. The Warriors 6-2 out of Salem, Oregon. Visiting after a win over MSU Northern. They're looking to get 2. The Saints are looking to get 2. It's a great way to finish up the Comfort Suites Classic with both teams having won yesterday, and a 4-point margin, minute and 9 seconds. What's going to be important going forward here?
Well, there's 15 seconds on the shot clock, and I don't know exactly sure. They got 2 things that they do. They like to have on-ball screen, and they like to run kind of clear out and attack. And they're about 50-50, Nick, so I'm not sure which one. Now, that was the clear out attack one, and the coach called timeout. But they've got the guards that they have in the ball game are guys that like to penetrate. And so if they can draw a foul, then you're at the free throw line, because both teams with 7 fouls. They'll get a sideline out of bounds right in front of us. 15 seconds on the shot clock.
Andrew Stafford on the floor. Brendan Temple has 4 fouls. Wouldn't be surprised to see them going at him with Henderson, who's the game's leading scorer. So Stafford defended by Andrew Cook. He's looking to get it in. Nice job by Cook, but they're able to get it to Taylor Anderson.
Here comes the on ball.
Anderson driving the lane. Isaiah Moore, the bench for Corbin, wants a
goaltend.
Yes, they do. We'll see what the call is.
I don't think so. I think for it to be a goaltend, you have to pin it on the board. If it's on the way up, it's not a goaltend. But so this will be an and 1.
So they gave it to him.
Yeah.
Minute and 1 second.
And I didn't see that coming. This little point guard, number 2, Taylor Anderson, is just real crafty.
He is 5'10".
Yeah,
and he's been able to get to the lane pretty easily tonight, despite the good defenders that the Saints have. He's able to go left and right. So the goaltend there on Moore, and the 3-point play to Anderson. So we have a 1-point game. The Fighting Saints have been in front by 6 or 7 points for most of the half, but the Warriors have not abated. And guess who? Dirk Hilaire providing defense on Braden Cook. Cook will bring it past midcourt. Drops it off to Andrew Cook. Cook gets the pick from Temple, now with the left hand driving off glass.
Beautiful, Andrew.
Andrew Cook. So Andrew Cook, he was quiet for a while, but 2 big buckets here in the last couple minutes. 40 seconds left. Anderson driving the lane. Call on Garrett Long. So Taylor Anderson's been aggressive.
Yeah,
he got the goaltend and one, and now he gets
another
go to the line.
He's got a front end of a 1-and-1 again.
So all of a sudden, Anderson, who was struggling from the field, has got 13 points, 6 for 16. He's shot the most of any player tonight. Andrew Cook has 13 points. Anderson connects on the front end of the 1-1. So he has 14 now as the Warriors trail by 2, 67-65, 37 seconds. From the Carroll College PE Center, the Fighting Saints look to remain undefeated on their home court. Anderson connects calmly on the second free throw, 14 on the game.
It'll be a man-to-man press now.
67-66, a lot of young players on the floor for Coach Kurt Paulson's Fighting Saints group. They need to get it past half court. Braden Cook will call the timeout. Coach Paulson wants to talk it over with 29 seconds.
And 23 seconds on the shot clock, so you have to shoot. 23 seconds on the shot clock, 30 seconds on the game clock. So you want to run something, you want to get a shot at about 8 seconds if you can. Give yourself a chance to hit the rebound.
1 point margin. It's
1 point margin.
6 or 7 for much of the half.
Yeah.
They just couldn't pull away, which isn't surprising playing a team of Corbin's caliber.
And Corbin just has so many kids that can hurt you. And all of a sudden this point guard hurt you. And he hadn't done anything for a while. So they just have a lot of weapons, but this is a big possession now. Coach Paulson's got the sideline out of bounds right in front of us. So the first thing that you're thinking about, Nick, is, okay, we got to get the ball in bounds, okay? Then the second thing you're thinking about is, okay, when do we want to try to make something where we're going to attack? So 23 seconds on the shot clock, something around 10. Somewhere you look up and around 10, okay, now let's go ahead and try to make something happen. And then if you miss it, you got to get back and not foul, because the fouls, and that little point guard draws fouls.
And on the flip side, as if you're Corbin, you never know who they're going to, because the Fighting Saints have multiple players that can penetrate. With Hillman one-on-one, Cook one-on-one.
I like Andrew Cook if Hilaire isn't guarding him, and I think Hilaire's guarding Johnny Tillman.
Yeah.
So whoever Hilaire isn't guarding, that's who I go to between those two.
Makes sense to me. I don't know that I'd want to be attacking him. He's just got such quick hands, and he's been able to
And they've got Hilaire on the point guard. They've got
So Braden Cook gets it past midcourt. 24 seconds remaining, 16 on the shot clock. It's Johnny Hillman, senior from Post Falls, defended by
11
Andrew
seconds.
Stafford. They're going to let him go to work. Hillman loses his footing, drops it off to Cook.
Oh.
Cook drives the lane and draws a foul. Henderson, he thought he got a clean block, but I think with the body he may have connected with him. That was a very fortunate. Hillman lost his feet. The ball found Andrew Cook.
And it looked like Andrew had a layup, and Henderson came out of nowhere. So Andrew's got a front end of a 1-and-1.
He's 89% on the season from the free throw line. He has not attempted a shot tonight from the line, but he will calmly cash that one in. And it's 68-66. Coach Paulson will bring in Isaiah Moore for defense, and Braden Cook will exit.
That's the right thing. He's got his best defenders now.
68-66, second free throw is an important one to stretch this lead from 2 to 3, and Andrew Cook hits off the front end and knocks in for the Fighting Saints. So a nice job getting 2 points on that possession and extending the lead from 1 to 3. We have 11.9 seconds left, 69-66. Do you expect some on-ball pressure coming out of this?
Carroll might make him throw the ball in bounds. You know how they like to throw it in and let it roll it up?
Right.
But I think Carroll will just get somebody up there so they can't do that. But they're going to play half-court man. They're going to probably do a lot of switching now, because I think Corbin's got to shoot a 3 I don't think you can just attack the rim and then foul. Now, some coaches believe in that. They do. Some coaches believe in that. And the other thing Carroll could do is if it takes him too long to get a shot off, you can foul. But the trouble with that is, what if you foul the guy that shoots a three?
Right.
I never was very good at that. And when you're going against veteran players, if they sense that you're going to foul them, they'll jump up and throw something up, and you get 3 free throws. So
one thing going against the Warriors is they are only 2 of 13 from 3.
Yeah.
And Masi Mohammadi connected on both of those, and he hasn't shot in an eternity. I'm not even sure he'll be on the floor.
Did you see him?
In.
He's not on the.
He's
he is
in.
in.
Yep,
Yeah, he is
3.
in. Yeah, you would think he would be. He's there. Something's going to be for him. Something off a double staggered, or a screen and pop.
Henderson is a capable 3-point shooter, but he hasn't taken many today. So 11.9, Mohammadi will enter, and it's Taylor Anderson. Again, no pressure as you thought. He'll give it to Mohammadi. He gets the catch. No foul. And Mohammadi knocks it down. Big 3 there. 5 seconds left. Well,
and you called it. And that was a really tough shot. Off balance.
He looked like he was trying to draw the foul to me.
He came as the trailer. He inbounded the ball, came as the trailer, and they threw the ball backwards, and he splashed it. A really tough shot.
That was. It was. Yeah. It looked like he was trying to draw the foul a little bit to me. He kind of leaned with his upper body. It was a little, because he's got a real nice stroke, but that one was a little bit off kilter in terms of his footing, but it knocked it down.
It wasn't a high percentage look, put it that way. And he was off balance.
The only player that's made a 3 for them. That was his 3rd make.
And he was drifting. He was drifting, which makes it even harder. Now, I'm not sure where they're going to say, they must have given him the timeout. So Carroll's got to go length of the court here.
5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Tie game. We knew this was going to be close, and it's gotten as close as it's been all night.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any closer than tied. But we had 6 at the break. It was 36-30 at halftime. And then the Fighting Saints were able to pretty much keep it around 6 or 7 for the majority of the game. But a little bit of a flurry of the goaltend 3-point play.
Yeah.
But then a nice job by Andrew Cook getting to the foul line and knocking down 2. But then coming back, the no quit from the Warriors. We have a tie game at 69. So Brendan Temple will be inbounding it for the Fighting Saints. 5.2 seconds left. Where do you expect this to go? I know Hilaire will be defending Cook.
Long pass, probably.
Into Johnny Hillman. Here he goes along the right side. He's dribbling the length of the floor. Wild shot goes up. No good, and we are headed to overtime.
A good play, though. A good play drawn up by Coach Paulson. They got a good look out of that. Johnny just was a little bit going too fast. He had a little more time than he thought, but a good play and a good look.
Really good. 69-69. We expected a good one, and we're getting a great one.
Very exciting. Yep.
(69-69). 5 minutes on the clock for overtime. Really nice job by Corbin to chip away at that lead. They were trailing by 6 or 7 for most of the game, and then at the end there, it wasn't a desperation heave, but it was kind of close to it on that 3. It was a nice play setup, but it just didn't look.
He was drifting.
Herky jerky a little bit.
Well, when you're drifting, and I mean you're moving sideways, and you jump off 1 foot. That's not a high percentage look at a 3, but it didn't seem to bother him any. He made it. And then but good, well drawn up play by Coach Taylor Kelly, and then Coach Paulson with a timeout, and had a real good look for Johnny Hillman. And Johnny Hillman had a layup. I think he thought he didn't have enough time, and he kind of rushed it. He did have enough time, and he shot it a little bit hard off the backboard.
So as we look at the stats from tonight in regulation, Fighting Saints, we're headed to overtime. Carroll PE Center, the Carroll College on the season, 4-0 at home. They look to extend that to 5. 49% from the field. Corbin had 13 more shot attempts. That was 3 made threes, and none bigger than that shot with 5 seconds remaining.
The only threes They made 3 threes all game. One of them was at crunch time.
Yep, and it was all by the same player, Mohammadi.
Yeah, and he's still in the ball game.
Corbin with the lead on offensive rebounds. And then we talked about the points in the paint. Corbin 34 to Carroll's 20. That's been huge. So
Carroll controlled the tip. Didn't expect that to happen.
Fighting Saints will look to get a win after leading most of the game, and now we're headed into overtime. Johnny Hillman over to Braden Cook. Cook, the freshman, defended by Stafford. Now Andrew Cook with 12 seconds. He's going to drive. He gets into the painted area, looks for a teammate, and then a hook off glass.
Really nice.
Andrew Cook, the Saints' leading scorer on the season. He's going to work. He now has 15, leads them in a pretty balanced offensive effort. So now double team on Mateo Eschek.
And he took it, Johnny Hillman with the offensive charge there. They had him triple teamed inside. He pivoted and ran into Johnny Hillman. Nice. So that now both teams will be in the double bonus. 9 fouls on both teams.
Free throws have been an important piece of the Saints' recipe for success this season, as they're 75% coming into the game as a team. Garrett Long, nice drive with the left hand, unable to get it, and then Brendan Temple with a strong rebound there, rips it away.
And they got one referee had a foul, one referee had a jump. The referee with the foul is going to win out.
And Eschek will exit the game with 5 fouls. So checking in is Colin Wormuth.
And they don't lose much there.
No.
They don't. That's just, we talked about how deep they are.
And Wormuth he's a 46% three-point shooter, but he's been aggressive off the bounce.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned, there's a great depth on this team. Brendan Temple at the line, converts on the first free throw. Fighting Saints in front by 3. Andrew Cook scored off glass on the last possession, and then the offensive rebound there. Temple, 4 minutes in overtime here. Second shot, bounces around, no good. Darius Henderson gets the rebound. Former University of Montana Grizzly, Darius Henderson. And Taylor Anderson.
All of a sudden, he's come out of nowhere, and he's been their best player this last 5 minutes.
He's been great. 17 points for Anderson.
Yeah.
Really attacking the interior.
And quick. He's quicker than I realized.
72-71, Fighting Saints in front, and off on the offensive attack. Johnny Hillman, the senior, is looking for Temple. Henderson had his hands around his waist, and then swiped from behind. Turnover. 3 minutes, 25 seconds. And here comes Anderson. He's been getting a lot of
off that on ball, off the on ball.
And Henderson from free throw line extended, shot no good. Skying for the rebound, Andrew Cook. So Andrew Cook, the sophomore from Huntington Beach, has 7 rebounds to go along with 17 points. Braden Cook drives the lane and high off the window, no good. Rebound, Stafford. And Anderson on the attack. He's been really effective going to the right in the end of the second half.
The high on ball has been their best thing.
Picks up his dribble, and Brendan Temple with the steal, and Temple. Brendan Temple. With the dunk.
He finished on the dunk and got fouled.
At midcourt, gets the steal.
Yeah.
He was waiting on that one. As you mentioned, they were going for that. A fantastic job by him. And it looked like the dunk, like the ball came back off the window. Yeah, because he got fouled hard.
It was a hard foul. And it was Henderson coming 100 miles. And that's 4 fouls on Henderson.
What an excellent
great defensive play.
And then offense going strong. You know, he didn't have much of a step, but he went for it and is rewarded with the foul and the hoop. Temple, so good from the free throw line, but he's struggling tonight.
Yeah, he is.
74-71, that was a big miss. He's frustrated about it, but it's important that the defense comes after a nice job on the last possession. They'll go into Henderson. Temple has 4 fouls, so important for him to keep his ground. Shot no good, tipped in by
And I told you, they don't lose much. Wormuth comes in, and he does a lot for them.
74-73. Fighting Saints in the lead. Overtime. Comfort Suites Classic. Carroll College 4-0 at home. So 4 fouls for both of the post players, and Johnny Hillman will attack the lane. He picks up his dribble out to Andrew Cook. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Hillman. He looks, goes in on Mohammadi, and Mohammadi is furious that he gets the block, but he definitely wasn't set.
Right. A lot of contact.
Nice job by Hillman attacking as the shot clock was expiring. So 5 players in double figures for the Fighting Saints. Andrew Cook leads the way with 17, Isaiah Moore 14, Braden Cook 13, and at the line right now, Johnny Hillman 11 points with 4 assists. Brendan Temple nearing a triple-double with 10 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. Hillman connects on the first free throw. The 6'2 senior from Post Falls, Idaho. He's been really effective on the dribble penetration, able to connect on that. It's a 2-point lead. This free throw is very important. And also on defense, Temple with 4 fouls. It's important that they're going to go at Henderson, but Hillman connects on that free throw. 3-point lead for the Fighting Saints.
They both have 4 fouls.
They do, so it's going to,
yeah.
I assume we'll see the offense going through both players, and here it is with Henderson. He quickly gives it off to Warmouth. And now Mohammadi pass goes into Henderson.
Oh,
and a block shot
clean
by
block.
Temple. And I couldn't see if there was something from the body, if that was from Moore or Cook. Yeah, so not on Temple. They must have had Cook,
yeah.
It was Cook. So Mohammadi with a high arcing pass into the lane to Henderson. Henderson comes down with it, gets blocked by Temple from the backside, but the foul was called on Cook, so he heads to the free throw line. A really effective free throw shooter.
Yeah, he just doesn't. What you said, he was shooting 80%?
86, yeah. Yep. But then also 59 from the field and 50 from 3. I mean, those are numbers that NBA players would love to see. 2 for 2 at the line, Darius Henderson. He's got 23 points to go along with 11 rebounds. He's 9 for 15 from the field, and the Saints lead by 1. Minute and 40 remaining in overtime. Braden Cook. Brendan Temple, the big man, bringing it up against Hilaire. Hilaire with those quick hands, creating another turnover. He's just been so good all night long. Multiple players on the floor, and Johnny
He had a time.
Ooh,
I thought he had a timeout.
I was surprised that Coach Paulson didn't go to the timeout when Temple was defended by Hilaire at midcourt there. They only had 1 timeout, though. Gosh, he is just such a tough on-ball defender.
Oh, he just creates, everywhere he goes, he just creates chaos.
Doesn't matter if it's a guard or Brendan Temple, who has nice handles, but Temple was bringing it up and Hilaire was able to knock it loose. And then on the floor, diving in, Hillman. Hillman thought he got the timeout. They didn't give it to him. And then on the floor, we're seeing
Dirk Hilaire.
Hilaire, who's been just...
I think he got hit in the face. I think he took an elbow, or maybe he slammed his head into the floor. But he looks to be in some discomfort.
82 seconds remaining in overtime. We have just had an excellent battle here between 2 teams that I wouldn't be surprised to see in the postseason. From the Cascade Conference is Corbin University in Salem. So Dirk Hilaire will have to head over with the trainer, as his thumb, it looks like, is what he's gingerly holding. They'll get a mop on the floor there.
So they called the jump ball, and Corbin has the arrow, so they will get it on the sideline out of bounds.
And that was tough because Johnny Hillman went quick to the timeout, but they wouldn't give it to him. In a game like this, every possession's been a toss-up.
This is a big one.
So Colin Warmouth from Roseburg, Oregon, 6'5" junior, will inbound it, and they're going to go to Anderson, of course. He's defended by Isaiah Moore. Taylor Anderson, 5'10". Isaiah Moore, 6'5". Anderson with the right hand gets deep position. Now Warmouth drives the lane, flails. Ball goes out of bounds. Looked like he lost the handle, tried to pretend like there might be a foul. Didn't get the whistle, but the ball goes out of bounds.
10 seconds on the shot clock.
minute and 12 remaining in overtime. And Isaiah Moore will defend the inbound here as Taylor Anderson, the dynamic point guard, gets it into Henderson. He's defended by Temple, who has 4 fouls. Let's see if they double as he backs in. Gets a good position, no good.
He got a good look. He got a good look.
Nice
Cook
job
with
by
another
Temple
rebound.
Not fouling, and a good rebound by Cook. Braden Cook now running the offense, defended by Mohammadi. Cook gets it to Temple. Brendan Temple from Castle Rock, Colorado, going in towards Henderson. He kicks it out to Hillman, 12 on the shot clock. They feed Temple again on the block. He'll spin. And
what a beautiful shot. What a great shot.
78-75, 36 seconds. Taylor Anderson will initiate the offense. Brendan Temple is helping. Kick outside, open 3 from the corner, no good. Rebound, Mohammadi goes back out to Anderson. They'll get it to Stafford. Stafford kicks it out. Mohammadi deep from 3, in and out, no good. Rebound, Andrew Cook. Fighting Saints in front by 3, 16 seconds. It looks like they'll have to foul. Great rebounding work by
Andrew Cook has come up with some big rebounds this half. Big rebounds.
78-75,
and a tremendous move by Brandon Temple down there to score over Henderson. Spun to his right, finished with his left hand off the backboard.
78-75, 14 seconds remaining. 2 free throws coming for Hillman. First one to a silent crowd goes down, much to the Saints faithful. Excited with the 4-point lead now, a little time to breathe.
Now last time, so with a 4-point lead, what you don't want to do is foul the 3-point shooter. So, you know, you just got to be so careful. You can go up and contest, but you got to go up straight vertical.
Right.
And last time down in this situation, Corbin hit a trailer and he splashed a 3. So I think I would pick up a little bit more full court and take away that trailer option. But it'd be interesting to see what Kurt does here. And he's talking to him now defensively about what he wants. And I think we should mention, too, that Coach Taylor Kelly, the Corbin coach, has done a really nice job with his team. The more I watch them, the more I like their team. And it'll be fun, Nick, to follow their team this year.
Absolutely.
Out in that Cascade Conference.
Yes.
And see how they do, because I would be shocked if they're not 1 or 2 in that league.
They're 2-1 overall so far in conference.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, a lot of talent on this team. They've been composed, not a lot of unforced errors on there, and you got to give Carroll College credit for playing a really solid game overall. They've done a lot of what you need to do offensively, and then defensively. It wasn't until Taylor Anderson really got going that they were able to cut into that lead. So this second free throw is big. This would extend it to 5.
Yeah.
That would be a 2-possession lead. I mean, it's 2 either way, but that 4-point play is taken out if you have a 5-point lead, of course. 14 seconds remaining as Johnny Hillman from Post Falls, one of 5 Saints in double figures tonight. Hillman has 4 assists after getting 12 against Bushnell. Hillman connects, 5-point lead. The Saints are in good shape here with 14 seconds. Taylor Anderson hustles to get to a quick 2 here, defended by Moore. No good. Rebound, Temple, and he is fouled by Andrew Stafford. And the Fighting Saints are going to continue to be undefeated.
And that's Isaiah Moore. Isaiah Moore with the good defense that time with the check, able to cause that missed shot.
So Brendan Temple is 6 for 10 from the line tonight. He has 10 rebounds to go with 12 points and 7 assists.
Yeah. The only thing he hasn't done is make his free throws tonight.
Right, 6 for 10. He'll knock this one down, 7 for 11. He's happy about that because he came in shooting nearly 80%.
Yeah. What a game.
It was fantastic. We knew it was going to be close. Overtime, though, was unexpected given the lead. And he connects on both. It's 7-point lead for the Fighting Saints. 7 seconds left. This one is just a deep 3, no good. Rebound is stolen by Hillman, and that'll do it from the PE Center. The Fighting Saints, 82. Corbin University, 75. bonus basketball as the Fighting Saints are victorious and improve at home